FTW Broadcasting here for the win. We bring you hot StarCraft 2 action. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. This is Game 2 in this Stars War series, the best of 3 series between Dimaga and Todd. And if you didn't watch Game 1, you need to go check it out. Go check it out in the video description below. It was a pretty good game. And you should see what leads up to this game. That's the whole point of a series, right? Gonna pull up the name tab. MTW Dimaga versus M Todd, and the MTW at the beginning of Dimaga's name. If you didn't watch last video, I'll just tell you a little bit about these guys. MTW stands for Mortal Teamwork. This guy is traditionally a Zerg player. He is professional, and he's from the Ukraine, 25 years old, so he's getting up there, man. He's getting real old, and he's an international and Korean player. His actual name, you probably didn't know this, is Dmytro Filipchuk. And if I mispronounce that, I will be happy, namely because I'm American and it is my job to mispronounce things and to embarrass my entire country. And this is his 5th team this guy's been on. His last team was Radical Online Extremists. He's a former Brood War player, and he did pull down that WCG Ukraine 2008 title in Brood War. So I keep wanting to say Brood Lords. Are we going to see Brood Lords this game? I want to find out. And cool fact about MTW Dimaga, I like this. He has an arch nemesis. He has an arch nemesis who is Fruit Dealer. I like that. He considers him his arch nemesis. And look at this early expansion. Well, it's not up yet, but it's going to be. Boom. It just hit right there. Dimaga picking that up. Okay, so if you're not already familiar with this map, folks, this is the GSL Terminus SE map. The SE at the end probably stands for Special Edition. And if you take a look at the supply depot here, down here at the bottom of the ramp, that is to prevent any kind of crazy cheese wall-ins, bunker wall-ins, pylon and cannon wall-ins, and that sort of thing. It just helps make things more balanced. This is my first time ever casting on this map, and if you guys look at the mini-map, you probably see that this map is big, which is going to allow for longer, more Gosu games, and this is what I really like out of StarCraft, is longer Gosu games. We're seeing the spawning pool going up right here from Dimaga, so similar builds so far from what we saw last game with the early expansion spawning pool and gas. Pretty traditional as Todd is bringing in his probe. He's going to be able to scout this out. Let's go check out Todd and talk about him a little bit, as Todd does have a very similar looking build from last game with the Gateway and the early Cybercore Zealot coming out first. And we're seeing a big save up on minerals here from Dimaga. What is he up to? He's got 400 right now. No, it's going to go ahead and drop down quickly. It's going to drop down very quickly as he's busting out the Queen as well as some Zerglings. So I wonder why he was holding on to those for that timing. Guessing because he was pumping out some workers as well. Let's talk about Todd just a little bit, as he is getting double gas, and the double gas is getting scouted out by Dimaga right now. Why is Todd doing double gas? Well, this is a larger map, as I was saying. It allows players to do more of those macro builds that you saw back in the Brood War days, and I like that. Early Link's going to come over, and while they're on the way over, going to tell you a little bit about Todd before we really get into this thing. His real name is Yon Merlo, dropping down that second gateway there, and that Stalker is going to be able to push away that drone, and that is going down, but really that double gas is probably the information that Dimaga needed to know. Is he going to use that to his advantage, Dimaga? Is he going to apply a lot of early game pressure with that double gas? He's got to expect that we're going to see a little bit more tech here than what you would normally see from a Protoss player. So, no, just pumping out workers, just really going for his macro game right now. And Dimaga is taking over all these Xel'Naga towers in the center of the map. Very smart move. The M at the beginning of Todd's name does stand for Millennium, as in Millennium Gaming, and he is a former Warcraft 3 player, used to play human, and he's held podiums in the WCG, CPL, and BlizzCon. Traditionally, he is a Protoss player. He's from France, and he's 26 years old, so he's ancient just like me. The first game he ever played was Command & Conquer when he was 12 years old. And I'm sorry to repeat this information, but a lot of people don't watch both games, folks. So he played Command & Conquer when he was 12. I played that game when I was 13. Did you guys play Command & Conquer and Command & Conquer Red Alert? My favorite part of those games as a kid was running over, and we're about to see an expansion go up here from Todd. And it does not get blocked by that Zergling. The Zergling is pissed that that expansion went up, and that Zergling eats it. Boy, he really was sticking his claws where they did not belong. And are we going to see a similar build here that we saw from last game? I thought it was so Gosu, as we're seeing a pylon, gateway, pylon. Wouldn't be surprised to see a gateway or two, a gateway pylon here to block this off and to create choke points at this expansion. A great way to wall off your expansion and really keep it safe. One hallucination being upgraded right now, being brought in. I love hallucination. We're probably going to see some early Phoenixes from Todd. The best hallucination in my opinion, because they're fast and they allow you to scout properly. Very good. Let's take a look at Dimaga's expansion here, dropping down the double spine crawler like we saw in Game 1. By the way, folks, Dimaga won Game 1 because he applied a lot of early game pressure. Not to mention, I got to give a little bit of credit to Todd there for Dimaga's win, as he rolled out and just was in a bad situation. He allowed himself to get surrounded by early speedlings, didn't hug the wall, and it was really just an unfortunate situation from Todd, as he did not know that Dimaga had all those early speedlings last game. So Dimaga, if he pulls down this game, he will win this best of 3 series. So let's see what happens. We're seeing double gas here from Dimaga, and we're seeing the early melee attack upgrade at the 8-minute mark. So very good to get those, and I'm liking this macro game already. Not really seeing too much pressure from either player yet. And we're seeing the Forge being dropped here. So we're going to see a massive wall off going all the way from here to here, completely blocking this off. Going to wall off the back as well with the Robo facility going up right now. So are we going to see early Colossi or Immortals? Colossi going to be very effective versus lots of little Zerglings. I like to see that. I got to tell you, my favorite unit as a Protoss player versus Zerg is the High Templar and Archons for obvious reasons. Let's see. Oh, here comes the Hallucination Phoenix I was talking about earlier. I am Psychic. He is shift-clicked to move all about the map that was Canadian there, if you guys want to use a translator. And we're seeing a second expansion going up for Dimaga here. So he's kind of doing that. He's doing very, very similar build to last game. I'll be honest with you. This is super, super similar. Huge explosion of drones there as he's just macroing up, busting through those rocks as Dimaga. And is this, the pylon got canceled out. All these stalkers and sentries here, though, going to be able to easily push that away. Dimaga got a lot of information there as he saw the robotics facility and the forge right now, so he knows that this is a more macro-oriented build from Todd yet. Is Todd going to do what I want him to do? We see the Twilight Council. You're only one step away from those High Templar, as Psy Storms are my favorite thing in the entire game. They are, and hopefully we'll see some of them this game. Chrono boosting out that level 1 upgrade. We're seeing as mirrored builds as you can between a Zerg player and Protoss player. They're really following each other's pacings with these upgrades and with their production. Let's take a look around and see what we got here. This layer moving on up on the tech tree is Dimaga. Good idea. And we're seeing the pathogen glands being increased for this infestation pit. Well, are we going to see Neural Parasite? Neural Parasite is disgusting if you take over something like a Carrier or something like an Immortal or Colossus. That can make a huge, huge difference in a battle. Let's see what happens with the Neural Parasite. Disgusting Neural Parasite micro can win you games. We see these speedlings kind of hanging out here, and this expansion has gone up from Todd here, and this has been spotted immediately as we're seeing more gateways, more pylons being dropped down. Todd really likes to do things SimCity style, and he really likes to create that concave and that block off, which is fabulous, fabulous idea versus a Zerg player. No speedlings are going to be able to slip into Todd's base this game. They're going to have to bust right through the front door, if you will, as that front door has become massive. It has become a massive front door. Haven't seen any cannon. There's the photon cannon. Just as I say that, there's the photon cannon. Another expansion here from Dimaga. All right, folks, it looks like this game is going to be long. It's going to be Gosu, as this map does promote that. Terminus Special Edition, I'm loving you right now. And Husky talks about this, how he really likes these larger GSL maps. They're more macro-oriented, and they bring it back to what we all loved about Brood War, which is that huge macro play. Seeing one player just bust out. It allows you to do all kinds of insane tactics when you have time to actually execute them. When you're on these smaller maps, these maps that were released initially with Starcraft 2, it really doesn't promote that macro game. And I love these GSL maps, and I love how people are getting innovative changeling moving across the map. Let's see how Dimaga is going to use that to his advantage. It's slowly glooping across here, and I like the way they move. Yes, crawling with his hands, no legs on him, and this expansion is now starting to get saturated. Take a look at the supply count, though. though. There's a huge disparity here. So I need to pull up that units tab and see what's going on. 65 workers for Dimaga, 77 freaking speedlings on the map, and that's a whole lot, folks, as Dimaga looks like he's going to max out far earlier than his opponent. Foreign Fester's also in play. Is Dimaga going to apply that mid-game pressure? It would be advised. It would be advised as a couple fungal growths and infested Terrans can start ripping things up, and these queens are going to start pooping more tumors, and he's really starting to take over this map. Another expansion here from Dimaga. I got to be honest, Todd is okay in the meantime, but if Zerg player starts to get 2 or more expansions ahead of you, you are running into a bad situation. Spinecrawler is being moved down here, moving to this next fortifiable position, which is right here. Big open area, as there is a wide ramp here and a wide opening here and a wide opening here. So this map is very prone to drops, air. It's really prone to everything, which is why I like it. It's very open. You can create choke points easily by your natural expansion here. But as you move out further, it really promotes lots of action and promotes really big macro play, and I love it. Terminus is really pleasing me so far. Hopefully we'll see that big battle we really want to see. Phoenix flying around, really scouting things out, seeing that hive, and the Ultralisk Cavern here. Ultralisk, so powerful versus any race. I love to see that. Going to pull up the production tab as we see massive upgrades being brought in with this double Evo chamber. Very popular tactic these days with pro players. Double Evo chamber, double forge, just double upgrades is the way to go. Taking out those creep tumors, as we do have an observer up and running right now. Todd really building up a huge mid-game force here. What is he going to bring in to complement this? Yes, he is bringing in the High Templar. I am so happy. And 2 Ultralisks, very scary. They eat Psy Storms for breakfast. Yum. So hopefully these High Templar will be able to take down all of this speedling fodder on the ground first, allowing those Stalkers to really concentrate on these Ultralisks in this battle. Fungal growths, I mean, this is going to be huge. With fungal growths and Psy Storms, I'm going to be very happy. There's the Archon. Todd, I love you. You're quickly becoming one of my favorite players in the game. We're seeing the Proxy Pylon here, able to warp in reinforcements whenever this battle takes place. Both players almost maxed out. I'm starting to get very excited as we have a Photon Cannon here to create sort of a fallback position. We're seeing the action. The force field's going up. The hallucination colossi. Where are the Psy Storms? No need to drop the Psy Storms yet, as we have a 2-front battle. The Speedling started to come in from that side as these Stalkers kind of getting pushed back by these Ultras. Stalker's going to be able to focus down this Ultra. He is all but doomed at this point. Where are the fungal growths? Dropping right down there on top of these Stalkers. Trying to drop in the infested Terrans, but these Stalkers are a little bit too much to handle, and as these reinforcements are being warped in here from Todd, he's able to bring in those additional Zealots, realizing that that's what he needs to do massive damage to this Ultralisk. These Ultralisks from this side are starting to clean up, though, and these queens are super slow. Here comes the swarm. Speedlings moving right in. I'm sorry for the zoom in a minute ago. I got a little too excited earlier. Todd, what, he's GGing out? He's GGing out? Good luck in the tour, he says. Wow. Completely overwhelmed by Dimaga, and okay, I see why he was GGing out. Take a look at the top, folks. Take a look at that name tab. Yup. 187 from Dimaga, as he's able to massively reinforce at this point. Protoss players can't really contend with that, even if they do have a number of gateways. And Todd just gets overwhelmed by the early game. Well, it was mid-game pressure this game at 17-minute mark. Once again, getting overwhelmed by those speedlings. Dimaga's macro game is really what came into play. I want to pull up the income tab really quick. Dimaga was ahead in his macro game. 15 harvesters up, 200 gas up, as well as 200 minerals up. But really, it's that reinforcement power from hatchery, hive, hatchery that really wins a Zerg player the game when you get to mid-game. As a Protoss player and you get into that mid-game battle, you need to win that battle and take down an expansion, or you're in bad shape, as we saw. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the top 3 most Gosu moments of the match. Alright, here's number 1. I know this is not actually Gosu, but it's actually kind of funny. I wanted to give coverage of this. I was just reviewing the replay to find the most Gosu moments, and here's this hallucination Void Ray going to town on this Zergling. Oh, he doesn't even care though. He's just standing there. He's like, oh yeah. No, that's not the spot. No, over to the left. Yeah, there you go. Now you're now that you're charged up. Oh, you're hitting the spot. You're hitting the spot, scratching the back of that Zergling, I guess. I don't know. I guess that bit's over. All right, let's take a look at Gosu moment number 2. And here it is. Here's that Changeling. I wasn't able to give you proper coverage of this earlier. The Changeling came over. He was just kind of hanging out, looping in the ground, right inside this circle, undiscovered. Well, actually, this observer discovered him. As he moves away, he's like, yes, my plan. Excellent. I became a zealot. Oh! He just ate it. Fantastic. Let's take a look at Gosu moment number 3, which will be actually Gosu. All right, I wanted to cover the big battle again. Why? Because I didn't properly cover it before, in my opinion. Feedback coming down there. Archon's up front, going absolutely buck wild. Hallucination Colossus getting in the game. Fungal growths all over these stalkers. Very, very fabulous micro. Psystorm being dropped down on top of everything there, but not very, very effective against Infestors and Ultras. As his Ultras and these Speedlings start to swarm, these reinforcements are trying to do something. These poor, helpless High Templar are going to move back. Are they going to be able to use the Psystorm? Drop a Psystorm right there, please, please, please. And he doesn't drop a Psystorm as these Ultras start to clean up. More reinforcements come in. And just take a look at the supply count during this whole time. Dimaga over at 184 right now, where Todd is only at 88. This battle was just completely dominated as Todd only had 5 or 6 gateways to reinforce here, and Dimaga had 5 or 6 freaking hatcheries to reinforce here, 5 to be exact. But regardless, that was overwhelming Zerg Swarm. That was Gosu as Dimaga pulls down Game 2 in this best of 3 series. So Dimaga pulls it down, best 2 out of 3. Good luck there from Todd. And let's go ahead and pull up the units kill tab, which will determine who wins the Gosu trophy for this match. Ooh. You know, it's kind of not fair. Protoss players really have the advantage in this sort of thing. They put up really big numbers on the board. 117 on units killed and 1 worker. I got to give the trophy, though. Numbers don't lie. Got to give the trophy to Todd. Todd, oh, yeah, here's the clip of me kissing the trophy. So, so delicious. Todd, if you want your Gosu trophy, email me at FTWBROADCASTING@gmail.com. Also, you can send me your replays, both players, if you'd like me to cast them in the future. I love both of you guys because you are Gosu. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Going to pull up the heart slide, and if you didn't watch Game 1, I'm going to put up a link up there in the top left-hand corner, a link to Game 1 if you want to check that out. Also, it's always in the video description below if you want to check out other games, the previous GosuCast or the next GosuCast. If you want to check out my GosuCast playlist, just click down there in the bottom right-hand corner. That will be all the GosuCasts I have ever done, and that's always in the video description below. A link to our YouTube channel is in the bottom left-hand corner, that blue link. We do TROLLCAST, GosuCast, Funernauts, Star Wars The Old Republic, General Gaming. Danny has a secret show, so stay tuned to our channel. If you aren't already subscribed to our channel, click in the center of the heart. That will be you subscribing. Danny does a sick dance every time you click that. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in my next GosuCast. I'm gonna beatbox the outro.